Isn't it shocking, the story of Mohammad Yasin, who's a Labour MP for Bedford, and he was travelling to Canada and was stopped in Heathrow and questioned, he says, aggressively for an hour because his name was Mohammed. And he was then questioned, I gather, in Canada on the way, when he finally got there. He was on committee business for the House of Commons. And he said that once he proved that he was an MP, the doors were opened to him, but had he not been an MP, he believes that it would have been significantly worse. This is racial stereotyping, is it not? And this is extraordinary, quite extraordinary, that it, and I suppose interesting that it happens to people in all walks of our society now. But having been questioned once, he was then questioned again on his return journey, apparently. And presumably the computer singles him out because of his name. But it must be wrong. It must be wrong. And if we can't accommodate people with the name Mohammed, then frankly, we are in a really tight spot, and we shouldn't be singling out people simply because of their name when they get on an aeroplane and giving them the third degree and lots of questioning. It's unnecessary. We have plenty of other surveillance techniques without actually having to end up questioning somebody. Why are these not being used, first of all? But secondly, why are we profiling people according to their name? I remember in the old days, on your passport, you have to indicate your job. And if that was still there, I'm sure there would have been some red faces right at the beginning of those conversations, would there not? I think we are finding ourselves in a bit of a mess. Socially, we are finding ourselves in a mess. And we need to get out of that mess quickly, because it can only get worse if we don't change our attitudes significantly. And once again, all this comes down to the failure of the Home Office. It all comes down to that ministry. And if that ministry is not run by somebody with a sound understanding of what's going on and can lead appropriately, then this is the sort of tittle-tattle story that we're going to have day after day after day, because this is a ministry in chaos, and it seems unable to protect our borders, to protect our streets, to protect our way of life. Our way of life is predicated on freedom and choice, and we surrender those with reluctance, but it seems that decision is being taken for us by somebody who stands at the dispatch box and attacks foreign nations, not just Albania, also Pakistan. She stands at the dispatch box and screams invader. What on earth have we got to protect? In the end, we're going to end up with nothing. And I think we're whittling down the values and the benefits of being British. We're whittling it down day by day. In the end, there's going to be nothing left. And freedom, and the freedom to say what we think, whether or not people like it, whether or not other people agree with it. This is a fundamental principle: the freedom to travel, the freedom that comes with a British passport. These are the freedoms that I was brought up as a child to believe were sacrosanct. Not any longer.